Four Knights of the Apocalypse chapter 63 has finally dropped, and it was insane. It did not go the way I expected it to, which is honestly something that I like about any type of series. If you could play with my expectations and literally be like, okay, you see this one thing? Yeah, this other thing is going to happen than what you were going to expect. And that was this chapter, more or less. And I have to say, I enjoyed my time with it. And for those of people that are thinking that Gawain is just a carbon copy of Escanor, or just a bit more psychotic than Escanor, this chapter completely shifts that on its head, and I think it's really going to build Gawain into being a more humble character. I will get that in a second. Before we get into the actual review, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. Four Knights of the Apocalypse has been doing great on the channel, and I want to keep bringing you guys more Four Knights content as the series progresses, as there is a lot of stuff I want to talk about little by little, but let's see how things go from here. And if you want to check me out on Twitter and Instagram, it would be much appreciated, as I do post whenever I upload, as well as talk about other things going on that I don't talk about on the channel whenever the time sees fit. But let's hit that intro and let's get into the review. So chapter 63, titled Taming a Wild Horse. I like that Nakaba used Percival trying to ride Sylvain as a type of metaphor for this chapter. Kind of makes sense. But anyway, this chapter is right where we left off last week, with Percival and Gawain getting ready to get out, as Gawain landed a very strong hit on Pelgard as he just tossed Percival to the side. And I like how we can see Tristan in the background on his way, about to catch up. Percival flies down to catch Pelgard, and he manages to land him safely on the ground. Pelgard's wondering why he ate an enemy, and Percival just asked him the same thing. You kind of covered for me back there. Aren't you kind of weird too? You're one to talk. I like that the little exchange was kind of funny and somewhat wholesome, because Pelgard literally just said that he cares about Percival, and if it's strange from to protect someone that he cares about. And they're both kind of weird people in any regard, and Pelgard is hurt, but isn't like badly hurt. Gawain lands in front of Percival and kicks him in the gut, saying that I am descended from a mighty king. Defying me is like trying to defy heaven. And you can see how much pain Percival's in, as her boot is literally digging into his chest, and she slaps him to the ground as Tristan comes in and catches Percival, telling Gawain that it is enough. She's trying to get Tristan out of the way, as Percival attacked him right when she was trying to dispatch an enemy. Tristan is saying that she was going to slash Percival along with Pelgard regardless, so she just stated, well, don't sweat the minor details. She says that Tristan sweats the minor details more than she thought, and it's a little tiresome, as she asks him to move politely. But Tristan's trying to tell her that this is enough. Percival is a knight of prophecy, just like the two of them. Hurting friends like this is just wrong. But Gawain looks down at him, saying that this is what irks me the most. Putting me in the same company as you or that child is humiliating. Really quick, this panel of Gawain looking down into Tristan's eyes, it's a nice parallel and callback to Meliodas and Escanor's encounter a while ago in the Ten Commandments arc. We had the Meliodas versus Escanor fight in the manga. We're not touching the anime here. And I just like this little callback, because it's literally just the child of Meliodas is staring up at, presumably from theories, the child of Escanor, or someone that has inherited Escanor's powers from the looks of it. So that's like a nice little callback, and I like that. But yeah, Gawain goes on to say that friends are nothing more than the weak cuddling together. She has a bit of a maniacal smile, saying that there is only those stronger than her can give her orders, and that she is perfect in every way, so no one can do it. And if Tristan disagrees, then he has to fight her and prove that he is stronger. And even taunts him, saying that our swords just for show. Tristan clenches his fists and says that his blades will never be pointed at his own allies. Gawain just slaps Tristan out of the way, casually knocking him back, as Percival is literally confronting Gawain again, saying just how brave Tristan is, and how he helped his friends, and how nice of a guy he is. And now she made Percival mad. He's really trying to find the word to describe what Gawain is like, as Tristan's telling him, don't anger her any more than you already have, as she smirks, getting ready to take a punch from Percival or counter it, as he just straight up calls Gawain a wild horse. We get a panel that just says whack, as it shows Gawain was about to hit Percival, but Pelgard managed to block it, saying, I will tame her. As, yeah, Pelgard is hurt, But Pelgard says, don't worry, this is just a handicap for me. And Pelio's magic has worn off as of right now, so he's gonna be fine. Gawain ignites herself with her blazing magical fire, saying how worthless Pelgard is, and that he just signed his own death warrant, pushing everybody back. But just as Tristan grabs Percival away, as he's telling Gawain to stop, Gawain is basically taunting Pelgard even more, saying that he's going to be roasted within his armor. But then Pelgard hits Gawain in the gut with his mace and knocks her back, seemingly unaffected by her power. And he just says, don't berate me, as she jumps over and is getting ready to attack Pelgard multiple times. And I just like this panel, it's really cool that she's just straight up attacking Pelgard multiple times. And the dust settles, and we keep seeing the clash over and over. As Percival's like, wait, he's taking the attack? And Tristan's saying no. He's parrying every single one of Gawain's blows. And Tristan's thinking, foe or not, he is incredible. Gawain attacks with fearsome force and speed, only at first glance. But when you look closer, and this is said by Pelgard, Gawain's moves are really, really basic. He's never going to beat her as he continues to parry her attacks as he knocks the sword down to the ground with a parry, and says that Gawain's never going to beat him, as he then knocks Gawain into the air with a ferocious hit, as she then plummets and falls to the ground. Pelgard begins to more or less lecture, saying that she might be a knight of the apocalypse and she has limitless potential with her abilities, but her abilities haven't caught up to her. She's still an amateur, and even mocks her by saying, "You're perfect? Don't make me laugh. You haven't mastered the excess amount of power that you wield. You're letting it throw you around instead. You're basically letting your power control you instead of you controlling your power." If Gawain had fought anyone besides Pelgard, she would be dead right now, and is really telling her to admit her shortcomings and train if she wants to have a long life. Gawain is frustrated and bangs the ground, but the last page of the chapter is Gawain bawling out crying as the chapter ends. So, for those of you who said that she is basically gonna be, well, another Escanor, this is something Escanor will not do. As far as I can tell. Escanor has fought countless opponents, but no matter how many times he's lost, he's always gotten back up, stating how strong he is. He even went toe-to-toe with a freaking god. But, and like I said last chapter, Escanor has more, how should I put this, he's more humbled in comparison to Gawain. And I think that, and this is probably going to be Gawain's character arc, to be humbled. And I think this chapter shows her mentality. She is so strong, incredibly powerful, has immense magical power, that she's potentially never really trained a day in her life. Well, to train her immense magical abilities, that is. And Pelgard has been going easy on her. He wasn't gonna kill her. He even states that if she had fought any other Chaos Knight, she probably would have died. And I see that. Pelgard was injured by a strong blow from Gawain, literally a second ago, and he was still able to parry each and every one of her hits and knock her back multiple times. And he doesn't seem all that out of breath. Once again, showing just how strong Pelgard is, and I'm honestly excited, and I still want Pelgard to join our side for some reason. Some way, somehow, I really want that to happen, and I feel like the seeds have been planted for that. And he even goes as far as to lecture her to train and have her ability catch up to her immense strength, so she can fully master it and fight well. Pelgard is being a mentor. I feel like this is something that he's always wanted to do, to be a real mentor. Have fun, teach the next generation. He was doing that with Percival in their first encounter, and even right now with Gawain. I feel like this is like something that we're gonna have to get into Pelgard's backstory and character more, as he just gets more and more interesting with every single chapter that he's in as this goes on. Now, did I think Meliodas was gonna break up the fight between the knights? Yes. Right now, he hasn't done so, and I feel like he's going to make his appearance sometime soon. But seeing Gawain bawl out crying just shows how much of a spoiled brat she is. She is a relative of King Arthur. She's related to King Arthur in some way, whether she's his niece. I feel like that's what we're going to go with. But that's the thing. Gawain sees herself as perfect. as always, and her immense magical power and abilities fuel that ego. Unlike with Escanor, who was able to back it up with actual technique and training, as he originally was afraid of his abilities, even in his perfect form. Even when he reached the one form for the first time, Meliodas was able to knock him back as he wasn't able to control his power and was subconsciously holding himself back. Until he got more confidence in himself, and while he is very prideful and arrogant, he knows how to fight. And he's mastered Sunshine to an extraneous amount, to the point where it's basically just an extension of his own power. It's his own. And that's, I think, what Gawain's gonna have to learn. Whether it be through Mael, as I did make a video about how Mael could be a mentor to the Four Knights and even the next wielder of Sunshine, if Gawain does have Sunshine. We still don't know yet. It could be Meliodas, it could be the rest of the Sins. We just don't know, but that's going to be Gawain's arc. Guaranteed. She's going to learn to fully master her power, to be the powerhouse, the tank that the Four Knights need, along with being a more humbled person, and to value life and other people and not view herself as above everyone else. She can still play off the fact that she is incredibly strong and superior, but also go the route with Escanor with while she would think that, she'll eventually learn and think of other people as a way to protect her. And she doesn't like weaklings at all. She despises them. So that's something that I really want to get more into Gawain's backstory and thought process, but her breaking down crying is something very interesting, and I just really want to dive into that. And I'm wondering how this is going to play out, because this just shatters any and all expectations of her being the next Escanor, and I just love it. But yeah, that was the chapter. What did you guys think of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, chapter 63? Thoughts and opinions down below in the comments about what's going to happen next, Gawain's personal arc, what's up with just Gawain in general, her backstory and her upbringing. How do you think Pelgard's going to react to her crying like a baby right now, and how he's going to play out in the story? Do you think he's going to eventually join her group, or do you think this is when Pelgard is going to be like a double agent or whatever? I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, but I cannot wait to find out. Leave your thoughts, opinions, and theories down below. Like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos as always. And if you want to support the channel more directly, don't forget to check out my Patreon and my Ko-fi accounts to help with a lot of the larger, more detailed videos that I have planned to do in the future. Any and all support is appreciated. And with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you all have an awesome day.